What is up, everybody? Welcome to a new and improved episode of the GITN Podcast, or better known as Ghost in the Night, a paranormal and true crime podcast. I am Phil, and Travis is sitting to my left. How are you doing, Travis?
I'm fucking... I don't even know. I
don't know either.
Words can't explain the audacity that is my life. The sheer gall that is the existence of me.
Nice.
I'm a walking anomaly in a world of enigmas.
That just blew my fine mind. But
see, you can't even fucking talk. It's almost like you had a stroke.
I can't talk about it. I just don't know what to say. I mean, how do we... I think we just end the podcast right here. Screw it. Because nobody watching or listening...
We've officially reached a higher plane of consciousness with that one statement.
Maybe.
We turned into fucking, what is it, Dr. Brooklyn or whatever the fuck from Watchmen, the big blue guy whose dick was flapping around the whole movie.
The whole movie.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
He's literally, like, I thought that was so unnecessary. I'm like, he can't wear pants.
I think I watched it on regular TV, so I didn't get the
so no big blue dick?
No big blue dick.
It was huge.
I get that every morning.
It was like fucking walking around on, whatchamacallit from Avatar. I can't remember the name of the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. With the blue people.
Yes, I
hence the big blue dicks.
The big blue dicks.
Babe, it's a big blue cocks. Like babe.
Why don't you tell everybody what we're doing tonight? Well, what subject are we covering?
We're gonna do true crime, but before we get into that, there's some other true crime. Did you hear about this zebra incident?
No. Do
oh
tell.
My God! What? I thought for sure that you knew something about this. Hold on, let me bring it up. This shit is fucking crazy, man.
A zebra.
Yeah.
A striped horse. Pony.
Usually I feel bad because I heard they talked about this on Brohio, but like I don't like to dick ride other podcasts or anything like that, but like this has to be talked about because it's in our state.
The great state of
Ohio.
O-H-I-O.
Go Bucks.
Fuck the Bucks.
I'm a Longhorns fan. A man was... Oh, where is this? Let's see. Deputies were dispatched... This is from CNN.
Incredible.
Deputies were dispatched to a home in Circleville, Ohio, after getting a call from a man who said, quote, his arm had been bitten off by a zebra. Or a zebra for our English listeners.
Bitten off. Clean off.
Apparently. Let's see. It was about 28 miles south of Columbus. Anybody who doesn't know where Circleville... There's a true crime case out of Circleville, too.
Really?
Yeah. An older one. But, so, this is exactly what it says. The first deputy on scene, about 28 miles south of Columbus, arrived to see a, quote, hostile zebra charging his patrol vehicle and used his air horn and sirens to scare it away long enough to get out and apply a tourniquet to the wounded man's arm and get him in an ambulance.
Well, for one, I have a question. What was this man doing to get that close to said zebra to get his arm taken clean off?
I don't know if it was fully bitten off.
Well, it took a chunk out of it. Got bitten by a zebra. What was he doing getting that close?
I don't know.
Did he think this was the Shriners petting zoo or something going on up in this bitch?
I don't know, but like there's a video. I wish I would have thought of it. We could have pulled it up and fucking had it on the stream and shit. But it's like literally this guy fucking sitting there, cop rolls up, and he's like, zebra bit my arm off. Like just straight to the point. He's like, yeah.
I can see. I have eyes.
Dude. This motherfucker got his arm bitten off by a goddamn zebra.
How about that?
A zebra. The purveyor of the most delicious gum for 5 seconds. Fruit Stripes. The one with the zebra.
Oh,
it's all fruit flavored.
Yeah.
You lick the wrapper and it's temporary tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good shit.
Call me crazy, but if I see a zebra walking up the street, I ain't gonna go near it.
And also, why do you have a zebra? was this fucking Racing Stripes, that shitty Frankie Muniz movie from the early 2000s?
I did not watch anything he was ever in.
He was the voice of the zebra.
Oh.
And a little girl won like the Kentucky Derby with him or some shit. And I was like, highly improbable. Built different.
Well, I do know that zebras are a little feisty.
They fight lions and shit.
Now, we don't know where the zebra came from. Did it escape from the Columbus Zoo?
No.
It just was
I think it was just someone's property.
I did not. I thought that.
Even if that's not true, that's the story I'm sticking with because it's way more entertaining.
Well,
this guy was just like, I was out in my field. I was tending to my peacocks and my zebra. And fucking old Stripes got fucking wily on me.
Huh. Well, ain't that a bitch?
He came at me like a spider monkey, but also a zebra.
Well, I don't get these people. Listen, I'm an animal lover, except for cats. We've covered this on this podcast.
So you wouldn't have a tiger?
I would not have a tiger.
I feel like that'd be one of the most testosterone boosting animals to own.
No, do not want a tiger.
Nope. Nobody's a pussy and owns a tiger.
What's those?
Siegfried and Roy?
Yeah. Look how that ended up.
Well, I mean that's the the tricks of the trade. You gotta see that's why it makes you question the legitimacy of the show anyway. Because if that was gonna go on, wouldn't you think he could just like fucking ninja smoke bomb and just be gone, and the tiger be like,
if magic was real.
Magic is real. Didn't you watch that show in the 90s with the guy with a really weird like Three Ninjas knockoff mask?
Oh,
it looked like if a Ninja Turtle had a baby with one of the Three Ninjas masks.
That was from the 2000s, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, it was from 2000, early 2000s.
They had the elephant on stage and shit.
Exposed.
They're like, he's going to make the Empire State Building disappear.
Magicians exposed.
Some shit like that.
And then they did a wrestling one, too.
Oh, what a bunch of bitches.
Exposing, the tricks of the wrestling for Gonzo in the chat.
I mean, they got Dark Side of the Ring, too. So
yeah.
And then that WWE Rivals on ID. That's pretty good. I was watching that last night.
Yeah, of course, it is what it is. But and it was voiced by the guy from X-Files, the assistant director, Skinner, whatever his name is. Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't watch X-Files that religiously.
Just get the fuck out now.
I know who Scully is, and I know who Mulder is.
You don't know who the smoking man is?
I mean, I've probably seen it, but I haven't watched. X-Files was on when I was a kid. That's like asking me to remember a specific skit from a cartoon. I know, I just remember the cartoons as a whole.
Okay, that's fine.
Is there any other house cleaning that needs to be done?
Fuck
Chipotle.
Chipotle?
Oh my God, 2 times in a row. Like I said, one time, I'm never ordered Chipotle online. Fucking public service announcement. Don't fucking do it. Chipotle online is fucking shitty. There was no cheese on the one. I didn't get my side of sour cream. Because, I like to control my sour cream. They be putting big old dollops of Daisy on there. I'm just looking for a little.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Dude.
They fuck you online.
Literally, it's just like the middle of. It's like a fucking. It's like if you got fucking Chipotle in Ethiopia. They would just serve it to you on like a fucking half of a pistachio shell.
I got one thing I want to talk about before we get into your true crime.
Fuck yeah. Hit me with it.
New documentary on Netflix.
Which one? The
Money Shot.
Oh my.
About Pornhub.
Oh my.
I started to watch it, but got to doing something.
I did start watching the docuseries on Jared Fogle on Hulu. The Subway guy.
Oh,
the pedophile.
Mr. I Like Little Boys.
Yeah. Dude.
And footlongs.
Dude, that shit is nuts.
But I'm sorry, if you like footlongs, why are you fucking around with little boys?
I don't know.
What kind of little boys are he fucking around with?
Well, they have the chick that undercovered PI'd for the fucking FBI for 2 years.
That bothers me.
What?
They were staking this fucker out for 2 years?
Because they never had direct evidence of an action. There was only talk about it and shit like that. They didn't even have a transaction for a photo or anything. So that's what they were waiting for.
I mean, selling that shit for 2 years.
Dude.
I would think. I'm sorry. Jared does not seem to be the criminal mastermind.
Some guy,
Just looking at
I forget his name. I have to look it up. I think it's Keith something on our Instagram. Does interviews with convicts and shit, and like transponds with serial killers in prison.
Yeah.
And he just recently interviewed the guy that beat the shit out of Jared Fogle in prison.
Well, is that really something to brag about also?
I mean, I'd talk to him about it on camera.
I mean,
he's already been convicted of it. What's the worst that could happen now? Like, well, fuck it. But yeah, apparently he ate a 6-inch turkey and a veggie delight or whatever the fuck for dinner. Turkey for lunch.
is he still getting Subway in the big house?
I think he's getting 6 inches and foot longs, but I don't think they're from Subway.
Oh, he ain't getting no 6 inches. He's getting he's getting all the way down to the meatballs, baby. All the way down to the meatballs.
Yeah, can I get a Tyrone on 9-grain honey oat, please? With provolone. Like, let me get extra mayo.
I think that's all I've got. Oh, have you watched the season finale of Last of Us yet?
No.
Okay, we won't talk about that.
They have, spoiler alert, they're at the town, whatever the fuck, with Tommy.
Oh, you're still.
Yeah.
Oh, you still. Oh,
well, I stopped watching it and then started it again.
Oh, I was gonna say you're still 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of the point.
Well, when you get to it, we'll discuss the ending of this great series that ended with a big pile of shit.
We can admit that up to the point I'm at least, it's a fucking great show. It's so fucking emotionally charged.
I know.
Like, you're used to just like, you're like zombie movies, and like, you just fucking, that's what it is. But this one, I'm like, every other episode, I'm like, no. I'm like fucking, what's her fuck from Twilight?
Bella.
Yeah. No. Don't be Batman. You're going to ruin the role.
All right. Well, before we get started, welcome to everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us for this live stream. For everybody listening on your favorite podcast app, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, which we like Spotify.
Podbean,
Podcast Addict.
Amazon. We're on Amazon Prime.
And Audible.
Sure.
We are.
Amazon owns Audible, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be sure to...
Bezos.
All of you, we greatly appreciate it, but be sure to head on over to the YouTube channel. If you're not familiar with our YouTube channel, head over to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/ghostinthenight. And you can join these live streams in person and get the shenanigans that we do live.
You get the satisfaction of seeing all the fuck-ups that we cut out in fucking post.
But I will say this, we're just as shitty live as we are...
Probably worse.
Recorded, probably. All right, Travis, tickle or true crime taint?
All right, tonight we're going to be talking about a man named Richard. Richard. Very benign name, I found. I was waiting for it. It's just, it was, I mean, come on. So, excuse me.
Who doesn't like to talk about a little dick?
That's all I know how to talk about. So, Richard Trenton Chase was born on May 23rd, 1950 in Sacramento, California.
Of course, Sacramento.
I've never been to Sacramento, so I have no opinion.
It's California.
California. California knows how to party. He was born into an Irish Catholic family, which was reported to be a normal, loving family. But I don't know how to, like, apparently this was entirely untrue. But according to him, he claimed that his mom would, like, physically abuse him all the time as a child. None of this, I couldn't find any truth to any of this.
Well, let's be honest.
That's why I had to stop and think about how I was going to say it, because from everything I looked up, it didn't really exist. He was like, which I was about to say, his dad was the disciplinarian, and he was punished, but he wasn't like beat or anything like that. Well, just run of the mill shit for the 50s, I would assume.
All families have skeletons in the closet, but
especially Eminem.
Yeah. Also, all children of said family do blow it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what? They make a mountain out of them. Don't want to say mountain out of a molehill, but I will say it might, from their perspective, be a little bit worse than maybe what it really is. Not that beating a child is a good thing. But
I think it depends on the kid.
I'm from the generation, nothing wrong with a little smack on the ass.
We'll come to this conclusion later, but I'm pretty sure it would have been okay for this person to get a couple lickings in his day.
Ooh,
God damn it.
Lickings. Whoa.
What?
What are we doing?
Just double checking something.
Double checking your facts?
Yeah, before we get too far into it,
Well, I like to check before I get too far in.
So what? What is that? Fucking, how long is it? 21 minutes? 20? Just take out from fucking like 18 to 21.
No, we're leaving it all in because that's what
Fuck them.
I like it.
Excuse me. Again, he would talk about how he was abused as a child. I don't even want to say allegedly. For all intents and purposes, and from all of the research that I did, that is untrue. I saw one place that said that, but literally his whole biography was 2 paragraphs long. So our fucking biography would be longer than that if somebody actually wrote it, and we're boring and stupid and useless.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm not useless. Just boring and stupid.
This depends on what we're trying to do.
Well, it depends on who you talk to also.
Also, yes. So by the age of 5 years old, Richard started to exhibit signs of all 3 factors within the McDonald triad, also known as the triad of sociopathy or the homicidal triad. Now, we've talked about this, but we'll go further into it. The McDonald triad consists of cruelty to animals, arson, and bedwetting past the age of 5.
Not Big Mac, fries, and nuggets?
Right? No, spelled different. This one's M-A-C.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. I thought the same thing, though. I was like, now I'm fucking hungry. Thanks. Thanks a lot, dickface. Thanks, Wikipedia, for explaining the McDonald triad to me and making me want fucking food because I'm a fat fuck. But, so those are the 3 parts of the McDonald's triad. It has linked these 3 behaviors to violent behavior and particularly homicidal behavior and sexual predatory behavior.
Huh. For
the record, other studies do claim that they have found no statistically significant links between the triad in question and violent behavior.
Which answers the question in the chat.
Does it?
Yeah, Gregory asked, he thought that the triad had been disproven. Which basically goes along with what you just said.
It's not like
proof.
The bedwetting is the kind of the odd man out.
Well, but
cruelty to animals is almost across the board.
Hey, I will fight to the death if.
And arson, like who doesn't like to set some shit on fire?
Who doesn't like to play with matches? And I'm sorry, there are some animals, cats, that need to be eradicated.
Depends on where you're at.
Okay.
If you're talking about an invasive species, I completely agree. Pigs should be eradicated from Hawaii. They're fucking everything.
In all seriousness.
Sorry, Hawaii.
In all seriousness, who hasn't wet the bed at one time or the other? Hell, I did it this past weekend. Of course,
sometimes it happens.
Maybe alcohol might have played a little bit of a factor in it.
Yeah, I remember one time I went to sleep drunk and stoned, and I had a dream about ice cream. Pissed the bed. I don't know why I specifically remember that, but I do.
Funny story. I had a dream that I was using the bathroom.
And you pissed the bed?
And
you shit the bed?
No, I didn't shit the bed.
You Amber Hearded it?
Yes. No, but I started to piss the bed and it woke me up. I was, oh, shit.
I've done that before. I've done that more than I've pissed the bed as an adult.
Is that, you remember the old wise tale? I guess it might be true. If you put somebody's hand in lukewarm water when they're sleeping, they'll piss the bed. Is that actually true? I'll try that on you.
Fucking emails.
I don't know.
From whatnot.
I don't think really you can. Getting back to the triad. I mean,
stay out of Hong Kong if you want to avoid that.
I'm sure that maybe people who are
stupid,
off,
psychotic
a little bit, and maybe more prone to slicing and dicing people up might be.
Why'd you have to make it sound so cool? Like,
that's what
you
I
took
do.
it from a terrible, what will end up being a pretty fucked up story to being Blade 4.
Cool. Sweet. But, I'm sure they do some of that stuff. I mean, I joked around about the killing of animals. I think That's more impressive. No,
Impressive?
That's
God damn.
More likely.
So Phil thinks killing animals impressive. He shit the bed last weekend, and that's where we're at.
No,
that's what we've got up to this point.
But if you show violence toward an animal, that could translate into, something deeper going on, or just violence in general.
Yeah, there's something going on.
There's something going on.
Even if it's not like you're a fucking complete psycho, it's like, are people talking to you about how you feel at home?
But also that doesn't mean you're gonna go on a killing spree or be a serial killer.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think so. In my younger days, I expressed violent tendencies, and I've yet to kill somebody that I know of.
I expressed some violent tendencies on the toilet this morning. God,
I don't have that.
It sounded like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in that bathroom.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I do think that, the environment that somebody's brought up in is really the catalyst that causes somebody to go off the rails. But I'll say this,
it doesn't help.
I think personally, my personal opinion, I think everybody that walks this earth is only one shitty day away from
I agree.
Going postal.
I completely agree.
You're
just waiting for somebody to be like, oh my God, I told you I didn't want fucking mayonnaise on my McChicken, Barbara.
I mean, human beings psychologically and mentally can only take so freaking much.
Yeah.
You get a run of bad luck. It wouldn't take much to push somebody off that ledge and, just flip a switch.
Just all the fuck it.
Go straight serial killer. So
that's a fair point.
Okay, continue with your
Now,
story.
he also exhibited signs of being a pathological liar and had an affinity for stealing or trying to steal because he was fucking terrible at it. He's not a good thief, even though he liked to do the thieving. So, not the smartest, not the sharpest crayon in the box.
So he was was he a part of the Loomis Fargo? Was he the fourth gunman or whatever? Not very smart criminals?
Thievery does not end up being his penchant, if you will.
Okay.
We'll get into that later. Excuse me. Richard specifically got off on hurting and killing animals, though, out of those three potential options from the triad, which still does not include a Big Mac or a 20-piece chicken nugget, which is fucking stupid. So in 1960, when he was 10 years old, Richard's mother started to suspect something might be off with her son when she found a cat buried in her planted flowers. Yes.
Fertilizer. She had great petunias that summer.
Bright side. I like it. Glass half full kind of guy. On top of that, this was years down the line, but years later, a neighbor of the family said that they remembered that a lot of cats and dogs, I think, were going missing at that time when the Chase family lived in the area.
Now, if the sumbitch killed dogs, we got a problem.
Oh, we'll get to all that. But, how many fucking cats? This was 20 or 30 years later. How many fucking cats went missing in your neighborhood that you specifically picked out a time when you were like,
Well,
there was that one year when 164 neighborhood cats went missing in 3 weeks.
Here's the weird thing about cats.
Don't fuck with cats.
They can especially outdoor cats, people that keep their cats outdoors, which I never understood anyway.
Yeah.
For one, you're creating a problem for somebody else, but that's a story for a different day. But they can wander off.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you can.
That's why I only question how many it was.
You can't.
If it was in the triple digits, it's a little extreme.
I mean, a cat can just wander off. Doesn't mean old Dick Chase here, strung him up. It's not proof.
Some people on the paper chase. I'm on the dick chase.
Chase that dick.
So later in life, in his teenage high school years, Richard never had any issues making friends or having normal relationships. He didn't have that issue, which was very common. Dahmer was really bad about that. Yeah. Oh, wait, don't say Dahmer. He's going to get his fucking banned off Instagram again, which I think we're still banned, by the way.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, darn, right?
Or maybe we're just not very popular and nobody wants to see our shit.
I mean, that's 100%.
Okay.
I've never doubted that, but hashtags are hashtags. You know what I'm saying? Hashtags make up for our lack of ability to get people to watch us. So, yeah, he had a pretty normal social life, which is odd for a guy that ends up having the life that he has.
Right. You don't hear that very often about people who turn into killers.
Yeah, now I have an explanation point here, so you know it's important. However, this was the time period in which he found out that he was also impotent, and which, if you don't know, means that he could not achieve a penicular erection. A pineal gland erection.
So he couldn't get hard.
He could not hoist his flag. His soldier would not stand at attention.
Fuck the triad. Now I know what pushed him over the edge. That would do it.
His cock and balls went AWOL. Boom. So that's the thing. But mind you, this is high school. Like, this is young. So he shouldn't be impotent, as we all know.
No,
so
right in the midst of going through puberty.
Yeah, and then so he's a pubescent boy, possibly post-pubescent, but either way, who can't get his dick up. And then on top of that, the next part of this is somehow that information got out to the public, which obviously embarrassed him and like kind of fucked up a lot of his relationships at school.
Well, I couldn't imagine this. Well, shit, because when I was in high school, I couldn't get my dick down. Let alone.
Did you do the waistband? You flip it up in your waistband?
When you have a little dick, nobody notices.
Yeah, you put it up in your waistband, then over time you fill up your belly button like a little teacup.
I mean, the old wind blew. Fuck that. It could be.
I'm a little teacup, short and stout.
It could be dry, hot, and humid. I'd still, when I was in high school, right after, fuck.
Flip it in your waistband and babies come out.
I mean, that was definitely not hell. That's not even a problem for me now. Fuck.
You cover it up with your trapper keeper?
Yes.
Back when those were a thing. They're still a thing.
That's why I never tucked in shirts.
Trapper keepers and pocket protectors.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. That's about the only thing that works on me today.
Calculator watches.
I never had a calculator
Neither
watch.
did I. I never really wanted. My fingers are too fucking fat for that shit.
I can barely use the Apple Watch here.
That's like me trying to do that is like trying to use fucking like Olive Garden breadsticks for chopsticks.
Sweet. All right, let's get back to high school boners.
High school boners. Good callback to that Jared Fogle documentary. So by the time this information had leaked to the public, if you will, Richard had learned about how boners work because he's in high school.
Oh, he had a health class.
Yeah. I have it written down. I have the full scientific explanation for erections. Blood go to wee-wee. Wee-wee get hard. So.
Is that clinical?
Yes.
Is that what it says in the whatever book of medicine?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to quote.
Do you quote Fauci on that?
Dr. Ben Carter or whatever the fuck his name is.
Dr. Drew? Is this what his?
Dr. Drew Pinsky?
Yeah.
He's a legit doctor.
He is.
No, he really is. He's actually a doctor.
Right. Yeah, but
in a former life. I think he still keeps a license though, unlike Dr. Phil.
I think actually.
He's also jacked.
Oh yeah, I think he actually worked on the AIDS epidemic with our Lord and Savior Fauci.
Oh, that little gremlin-looking motherfucker.
Let's go off the rails here. Do you see that?
Sidebar.
Do you see that where Fauci was in Washington, D.C., went around with the mayor trying to get poor black people to lose their vaccine hesitancy? And apparently,
how'd they do that?
Apparently it didn't go over very well.
Oh, no shit.
At this point now, how stupid do you have to be to send
No
Fauci
one
out,
likes you.
Fauci out to do anything.
Yeah, no one likes Fauci. I have yet to see. I don't want to say no one likes Fauci. People do, but nobody in my social circles is like, I fuck with Fauci. That is my little fucking. He looks like a fucking. You remember the troll dolls?
Oh, that's what. Yeah.
He looks like a troll doll that like grew up and got its shit together.
It's a garden gnome.
He's like
put him a pointy hat. That's a garden gnome.
And I still stand by it. I'm pretty sure that the fucking translator for the COVID shit and him are like body doubles for one another. They just switch spots every once in a while.
Yeah.
She looked just like him.
Yeah, but apparently a few of the people were not having it and did not want to hear him and kind of
Where was this?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, man. D.C.'s rough, too.
Yeah. And he just had to sit there and take it, and then tried to spy off. No, it was freaking comical.
How can you take him seriously?
He would be the last person I'd want.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's not Fauci that looks like the translator. It was fucking... you remember the translator in Ohio that looks like...
Oh, yeah, with the glasses. And,
Daddy DeWine?
Yeah.
God, I can't listen to Mike DeWine talk ever again
love
either.
Those translators.
Oh, dude, they're the best. She was so fucking... It looked like she was out there just set tripping, throwing up gang signs on motherfuckers. And the whole time she's like, the COVID-19 pandemic is sweeping across Africa and the plains of Pakistan as we speak.
Oh, they get into it.
Dude.
I guess, from what I understand.
I just apologize for my terrible impression of fucking American Sign Language.
Well, people listening on the audio side of it, they can't see it.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, that was perfect. Yeah. That was that was digit for digit.
But I guess that is part of American Sign Language. You know, you do have to be a little bit animated, I guess. But I'm fascinated by watching.
You think there's any deaf people that thought she was too much?
Okay.
They're just sitting there
You're taking it a little too far.
They're just sitting there like...
Quit screaming, bitch! I'm deaf.
Yeah, is that how you like get across that you're yelling at somebody?
Is that the?
I bet you deaf neighbors would be the best neighbors in an apartment.
They never complain
till they have sex.
Well, don't do it. I'm telling you right now, do not do it. Don't. That is one impersonation will get us canceled. Do not.
You can't cancel us. We're not monetized. We don't make any money.
All right.
We are for the people. We're the Robin Hoods of shitty podcasting. Oh, my God. Good times.
Okay. High school boners. High school boners.
Yeah, so this was the beginning of what would end up being a obsession with blood for Richard Chase because he thought that blood made his wiener harder, which it does. But let's get into this. With the information at hand, he formed a terrible fucking hypothesis that the reason he couldn't get an erection was because he didn't have enough blood in his body. Because he is fucking dumb.
Please tell me this goes into vampirism.
So anyway.
Awesome. That's a yes for you people.
Well, I wrote ... fucking idiot after this.
I think I started to watch the documentary because
we're learned doctors, we only watch documentaries and surgical film.
Full disclosure, I didn't even know what we were covering tonight.
Secrets.
And I didn't recognize the name. I think I recognize the name now.
Surprise, motherfucker. So I called him an idiot literally in my notes, but by this time he was already showing that he had some type of a mental issue.
You think?
So, excuse me, for him to have these thoughts rolling around his head really isn't that far-fetched. You know what I mean?
Right.
Try to deep dive into the mentality, if you will. I find that fun to try to like watch and like learn about these things and be like, all right, so where am I at with the whole how the fuck do you come up with that?
Let's
try to wrap your head around it.
Good way to be.
It's mind-boggling. So having this newfound thought process in regard to his impotence / AKA vis-a-vis his soft penis.
Now, did he?
So there's no. I had there for a while. I had misinformation on impotence when I was young.
Oh, please do tell.
I thought it was like something with your taxes. But, you know, here we are.
Well, it can have something to do with your taxes, depending on.
Fair enough. That's a good point.
Depending on how bad of a year it was and how much you owe.
Yeah.
That'll make a dick go limp real quick.
Fair enough. So you had a question?
I forgot it with the impotent taxes.
Excellent.
I lost my spot.
Okay, so Richard now thought that in order to fix his issue, he needed to put more blood into his body, and the easiest way to do that would to be drink the blood. Duh. My dick don't get hard. I'ma drink blood.
There's rocket science. This is it.
That sounds like a shitty rap song. My dick don't get hard. I'ma drink blood. I'ma drink
What's the
I'ma
rapper
drink
that-
blood.
What's the?
Lil Nas X,
Is that him?
the one that put his blood in the fucking sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be him.
Nice.
That guy. And then put out the devil song, whatever the fuck it was called. Put out a song that was like had the devil in the music video, and everybody's like, "And he's fucking gay," and I'm like, "Who gives a shit?"
What's that got to do with the blood? And the
Right,
sneakers?
like-
I think a bigger
Right,
problem
I think
is
you're
blood and
focusing on
sneakers.
if you're gonna pick an issue out of this little Nas X book, I think you're picking the wrong fucking one. Not that I have a problem with any of it. I don't give a shit. Put your blood in shoes. I don't give a hail Satan. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want to do.
I think,
And
that-
also do it while you're being gay. I don't give a fuck about any of that. The fact that anybody does and takes the time to get upset about it and then also goes, but let's not forget gay. Like, what the fuck? What are you? Chill out, internet Karen. www.com.
Fuck that joke all the fuck.
Karen.com. / nosy bitch. / STFU. Nobody trying to hear that shit. Told you, I got obsessed with fucking Karen videos recently.
I know. I hear.
You can't beat them. So he started having this thought, and it started to infest him a little bit. And throughout this time, this thought manifested for the first time when Richard stole his girlfriend's kitten. He had a girlfriend, right?
Obviously not for long, since he
Right.
wasn't laying the pipe.
Killed it, slit its throat, and drank the blood straight from the cat's throat. He Ozzy'd it.
Or Louis did from Interview
Yeah.
with the Vampire.
Or, I don't know. Lady Bezos'd it with how she did his bank account. Ha! Boom! I don't give a fuck. Take half his money, girl. Hey, let me get some Louboutins.
So he drained his girlfriend's
Kitten.
pussy. Come on. I'm old.
Dick drank his girlfriend's pussy's blood.
Yes.
That one was fucking heavy.
Oh, if you didn't know, we're not for kids, everybody.
Yeah, we fucking mark not for kids on the videos.
Parental
You've been warned. And there's a
discretion
big fucking...
advised.
I wish you could pick the size of the explicit E on podcasting apps, because I would want just like the big fuck off one right at the end.
I thought that E meant for everyone.
Like EA Sports, it's in the game. Madden NFL 2008.
All right.
Anyway.
So he shot it.
So later he shot a dog in his neighborhood and tried to catch the blood draining from the dog's body with like paper Dixie cups.
Nice.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
It's a real long. You're really going for longevity of your vessel when you're using a paper cup to hold warm, viscous liquid.
Dixie cup or a red Solo cup?
Dixie cup,
Dixie cup.
I think. If it's a red Solo cup, you're in the fucking clear. Those things are good. Like they don't need a lid. You can put anything in a red Solo cup for as long as you want, and it is still fucking ingestible. It's just how it works. Fucking what's his titch told us that in that stupid song, Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. That song is dumb, and I hate everybody that plays it at the fucking bar.
I've never heard that song at the bar.
Please don't press play, you dumb fuck. I'll beat you up. So stupid. I'm fucking dumb. This is around the time where he also started seeing a psychiatrist. And
get his money back.
and told his psychiatrist about his impotence. Safe place, safe space for sharing.
Yeah, safe place for sharing, but not for correcting the problem,
Yeah.
obviously.
The doctor tried to change his mind on how impotence works. Thank God. That's the first step in this one, I feel like, as a psychiatrist, and I'm not even a psychiatrist.
I don't even think they cover that shit in their school.
Right? Well, mind you, he also didn't know that he was out here drinking cats and shit.
Didn't you ever know about fucking diseases? Feline AIDS and shit?
My whole thing is like, I just want to picture this guy walking around with a fucking Capri Sun straw at all times, just fucking jabbing it into fucking small animals. And then when he's done, it's like Dracula Dead and Loving It with Leslie Nielsen, when he's fucking when he vamps out and drinks that girl in his ear. But, in a perfect world, So after high school, Richard went to community college for about a year before he got an apartment with 2 young ladies in 1970. Again, he's holding on to the being able to be a sociable person that not everybody hates all the time.
Right.
That's good.
You just can't drive it home.
Yeah, so his income was provided from the sale of weed and acid in at this time. So that's, fucking party on, Wayne. That's might have something to do with why there's 2 girls living with him.
She's like, oh my god, she's got like the best weed, and like his acid has Fraggle Rock characters on it. It's like the bee's knees. It's so groovy.
I'm trying to go with the times.
I see that.
He's no square.
Okay.
You're welcome. Now, the girls he moved in with said that Richard was a really nasty ass fuck. Like, he didn't shower very often. He was super messy around the house. But he had drugs, so
you can overlook a lot.
Yeah. He had the Dutchie. He passed the Dutchie upon the left-hand side.
Ooh.
That band's still trying to say that song's not about weed.
Oh, you bunch of lying cocksuckers.
I know, right? Yeah, and the Village People were all straight.
Everyone but the policeman.
Was it the cop, the policeman?
Or No, they all were queer in a $2 bill.
I never understood, like, why did that band become so synonymous with gay culture?
I don't know. Probably
Young man. There's a place
YMCA. I don't know, actually.
Right?
I don't know.
Like, not Freddie Mercury.
Actually, I couldn't tell you if they were gay or not.
I think one was gay. Either way, like, just the fact, like, it's just, they're just fucking, like, I don't understand. What about fucking,
honestly,
why specifically the Village People are, like, people are like, gay?
Probably because they did get played, the music got played a lot in gay clubs, I would imagine, and it kind of stuck, I guess. But it was getting played in every other club, too. It's just, back, it's a different time.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a stigmatism to being non-heterosexual at the time. It was frowned upon by certain cultures, certain people.
Still is for some reason.
Yeah, but it's not as bad.
Oh yeah, but
not nearly as bad.
It's fucking stupid. People love each other. Just let them love each other. Whether it's pee and vagina, vagina and vagina, pee and pee. I guess that's technically where it stops. I don't think there's if it's just strictly platonic.
I don't know, but hey, you can't help who you fall in love with.
Words of wisdom from these 2 assholes.
So, Dick Chase was a nasty fucker, didn't like to shower.
But he had drugs. So, he was very probably and almost certainly regularly using the marijuana and the acid that he was selling at this time.
Smoking the doobies.
And dropping tabs. Doing it big. This on top of the fact that we know at this point he's got some mental things going on. He's not his faculties are not quite in line with the syllabus of proper working cerebral actions.
You lost me. I'm stupid.
That comment really doesn't make that much sense, really, if you break it down word for word. But it sounded good. So his roommates told stories about things that caused them to eventually move out, one of which was when he barricaded himself inside of his room and then went a step further than that and barricaded himself inside of his own closet inside of the barricaded room because he said people were sneaking up on him from the inside. From, like, inside his room.
Fuckers cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Right?
Crazy.
I really had to read into the sneaking up on him from the inside part and be like, all right, what are we talking about here?
Sounds like some butt stuff to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey. Maybe if he would have tried that, maybe he wouldn't have been impotent. Maybe that would have got his rocks off.
That's not a bad point.
You got maybe that's what he liked. He just didn't find what he liked yet.
If you want the balloon to fly, you got to fucking fill it.
You got to try, exhaust all your options.
Fucking old Richard, the Boston cream donut.
And see what tickles your fancy.
We'll call it a fancy for this one. Or a butthole.
It took me many years to realize I like being ball gagged and have anal beads shoved up my ass.
All I think of, like, I can't help it. I know it's stupid, but, like, all I think of when I think about anal beads is, like, somebody just getting started like a fucking old Honda lawnmower. Just.
The extraction.
And if it also makes that noise, like.
Ribbed for his or her pleasure.
Not at that point. Jesus. So, again, he said that somebody was, like, he barricaded his room and then was like, they're sneaking up on me from inside the room. So he barricaded himself inside his fucking closet on top of that. Normal stuff.
Into the closet.
Normal stuff. He would also apparently, like, if they had a party or had people over, he would just, like, walk into the living room where people would be dancing and having a jolly old time and just lay naked on the floor and just be like, and just start speaking fucking gibberish. Yeah, right? It's, like, very clear signs that there's something going on here. Like, he would also, like, just kind of wiggle around while laying naked on the floor while there was, like, a party going on around him.
I mean...
And, like, I was thinking about, like, that seems fucking crazy, but at the same time, like, if you think about the apartment you're in, they're probably like, he did a shitload of that acid he's got in his room. That's what that is.
That might be your first clue. I'm at a party and somebody starts wandering around naked. I'm going to start asking some fucking questions.
But also, when you got a dude that's probably eating tabs of acid like fucking Reese's Pieces, you see something like that and you're like, slow day, huh? So around this time, Richard started claiming an assortment of physical ailments that did not exist.
Other than the limp dick syndrome?
No, that one actually existed. These did not. So some of these consisted of things such as his heart not beating for periods of time. He had bones growing out of the back of his head, and his stomach had been turned around backwards, like a German Shepherd or a cow.
Did he get on WebMD and find all this shit out?
This is like 1970.
No, but Jesus Christ.
Just do what they do to cows. That happens to cow stomachs all the time. They just fucking push them over and then roll them over, and usually it works.
The bones coming out of his fucking back of his head? What, do you think he was getting antlers?
I think a fucking Klingon.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, are you still trying to legitimize any of the shit that we're talking about with this fucking piece of work here?
I'm trying, but
just throw that out the window, bud. So, being left without a job in the apartment, he had to move back in with his mom after his roommates moved out, and ended up bouncing back and forth, living with his mom, his dad, because they had been divorced by this point. Until the point where his parents, like his former roommates, also got tired of dealing with him and his fucking weird-ass shit, so they sent him to live with his grandmother in L.A., where he did live for about a year with pretty normally. He lasted about a year with Grandma.
Yeah, because grandmas can put up with some shit.
They got those wooden paddles with the air chopped through them, or the holes drilled in them. Not only did he live here mostly normally for about a year, his grandmother also got him a job driving handicapped kids to and from school.
I don't see where this could go fucking sideways with a quickness.
Right? It just seems like a great idea.
But in her defense, she didn't probably realize her grandson was a douche. A blood-sucking, cat-killing douche at this point.
Anyway, throughout all of this, he was still talking about being followed by people.
What are we looking at?
I'm trying to figure out if that's the chalupa I'm hearing.
I don't hear anything.
You didn't hear that? That was definitely chalupa. The one that I'm just confirming. So I was like, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna get reckless.
No.
Yeah, so he's now driving small handicapped children to and from school.
Nice.
Just fucking, it is a never-ending list of great ideas in this story. Now, he was also continuing the behavior of animal cruelty unbeknownst to those around him, obviously. Traditionally, when people find out about that stuff, kind of try to put a kibosh on it, if you will. He was still talking about being followed by people who aren't there, talking to himself out loud in the third person. He called himself a good boy and shit.
Oh, who's a good boy?
He's a good boy. This is a real fucking zinger. He also developed a fear of a vitamin D deficiency, so he would wrap cut up oranges in towels and then saran wrap them around his head to help prevent this deficiency. Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't he just...
Like a Capri Sun chic.
Well, he liked to walk around naked. Just go out in the sun.
Right?
Naked.
Sun your butthole. I forget what movie that is. There's a guy who's like, yeah, you got to sun your butthole. Or maybe it was a girl. They're getting the positive energy.
With a orange cut out with the middle around your lip phallus.
So,
maybe that would have cured his intimacy.
After
Intimacy. He couldn't be intimate. And
well, I would assume he also had intimacy issues. Impotency.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
So, after he starts wearing fucking orange helmets and shit, his grandmother did admit Richard to the American Rivers Hospital, where he told the doctors that his pulmonary artery had been stolen. Yeah. His heart and liver had stopped working, and that his blood was no longer flowing, which, this is all crazy, but I also did immediately think, he said, my blood has stopped flowing. Well, you did also say that your heart and liver stopped working, so clearly your blood's not flowing. You're just being repetitive and annoying now.
Yes.
Let's just stick with fucking people stealing your pulmonary artery. A thief in the night just slid in and just gingerly stole your pulmonary artery.
I'm a freaking moron. But I'm smart enough to know. I paid enough attention in school that I know if your blood stops flowing, your heart stops beating, therefore you are dead.
And you did have a stroke, so you're knocking on that door.
So I did have blood flow issues going to my brain.
Yes.
This fucking pussy right here stealing my thunder.
Piece of shit.
I'm going to run around naked and twitch on the ground.
Yes. So this is when he officially pointed out, or I'm sorry, it was officially pointed out that Richard was definitely a paranoid schizophrenic. And
they go out on a limb there.
They told his mom that he needed to be medicated and treated so he wouldn't be a threat to anybody around him.
Hmm.
Yeah. His mom did not listen to this advice from the doctors, and he started thinking that his mom was trying to poison him and using mind control tactics on him, which he told his imaginary friend about after he left the hospital.
His imaginary friend?
Yeah. So after having to deal with all this for the first time, his parents just couldn't take that shit, obviously. So they got Richard his own apartment.
Put him out on his own.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. Fuck it.
Now, while he lived here, he would go to a local rabbit farm and adopt a rabbit, and he would bring rabbits home where he would kill them and either drink the blood straight from the rabbit, or he would blend the rabbit up entirely like a fucking smoothie and just... Yeah. The fuck kind of blenders do they have in the 70s? Did they have ninjas back then?
Industrial size.
Like you stole one of the margarita blenders from the bar around the corner? This ones.
A little chunky. At least got debone it a little bit. Jesus.
Right? Like, how long are you running that blender? That's $9 a month just in electricity just for the fucking blender. And your neighbors would be like, the fuck? This is Planet Smoothie, you piece of shit. Turn that off. I'm trying to watch fucking Sanford and Sons. Or whatever the fuck was popular on TV at this point in time. He said that he looked at rabbits like little machines. Like they were little blood machines. So he liked to drink. He liked to sip them more than other animals. They were little blood machines. They were made to make blood for him to drink.
This guy's just an asshole.
Yeah. Now, also in his mind, he had to continue to drink blood, or his heart would continue to shrink until he died. Unpack that one. Just throw that on top of the list. We've got a fucking about a 9-foot tall shit list of crazy shit that this dude has come up with up to this point.
I can't even keep track now. I've lost count.
Yeah. Yeah. His dad would spend some time with him at the apartment every once in a while. He'd play like cards with him, just do, normal dad and son shit. And one of these times he noticed that Richard looked really shitty, really pale, and really sickly. So he took him to the hospital because Richard told him that he had food poisoning. When they got to the hospital, it was found that he didn't have food poisoning, but rather he had blood poisoning. His explanation for this blood poisoning was that he had drank blood from a rabbit that had ingested battery acid. And to save himself from being hurt by that, he decided that he needed to inject the blood of another rabbit directly into his bloodstream just to knock out the blood infection from the battery acid rabbit blood.
Nice.
Got anything for that?
No, I'm not. I can't even fucking justify this shit
Yes.
at this point.
So after that particular situation, Richard was admitted into a mental hospital again. 2 days later, he just fucking Usain bolted out the door and just didn't look back.
Good, tight security.
Which I guess was fine to them. They didn't really do shit about that.
Well, mental health back then was not a big priority.
Well, I mean, they caught up to him, but I guess he got out pretty. They didn't really try to stop him from leaving. They just they were like, all right, go get him, which they did. So after that, they took him to a more secure facility where he would come to be known as Dracula, because he would exclusively talk about blood when anyone else talked to him.
Those mental patients are real original.
Yeah. His doctors released him shortly after his arrival, stating that he formed good social skills there and didn't pose a threat to anyone around him anymore. He was released to the care of his mother, who immediately weaned Richard off of his medications because she didn't like how it made him act, and she didn't think he needed it.
Oh, she didn't like that it made him act somewhat fucking normal.
Right. Like
That's,
what? Because what is he, like catatonic? That's still better than what he's been fucking doing up to this point, Rebecca. Get off your fucking high horse. I bet you your kids aren't vaccinated either, huh, bitch? I don't know. It was just a good toss-in. Seemed like a good opportunity for it. But anyway, we're going to jump ahead a little bit now to August 3rd of 1977 when police responded to a reservation in Pyramid Lake, Nevada to investigate an abandoned car in which they found a rifle and a pistol, both covered in blood, along with clothes and a pair of shoes soaked in blood outside of the car. And inside of the car, they found a bucket filled with blood, and it also contained a liver.
Nice.
Yes. When the police started to search, they spotted Richard less than a mile away, naked, sitting atop a large rock formation. Yeah, he's fucking Joshua treeing it out there. Now, when they approached him, he was covered in blood, and when they asked him where the blood came from, he responded, "It's seeping from me."
Somebody should have just shot him.
This guy's like, he's like a character actor offset.
He's going method.
Like, knowing this guy would be like being friends with really dark Jim Carrey. Yeah. It was later determined that the blood was from a cow and no charges were filed. Fuck cows. Apparently we don't give a fuck about cows. I love cows. They're adorable and delicious. They're adorable when they're clean.
All the same. I love a good burger.
Oh, God, yeah.
Nothing better than a fucking burger or a steak.
Dude.
Awesome.
Sidebar, life story. I went to fucking Red Robin for the first time in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Like Monday, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The single strangest experience of my life with the staff there. I cannot wait to go back. The fucking the greeter when we walked in, she is, and I don't want to presume that it is a she, but like pretty sure they were definitely born a female person. I honestly couldn't tell. but they were wearing.
We are walking a very fine line.
That's what I'm
here.
saying. Like I'm really not trying to be a dick. Like I really had to like confirm my thoughts with better half, but they were wearing like fucking green, fucking dish gloves. Had the mask, had a beanie on, and fucking we walked in, like took a second. She was helping. They were helping somebody else, and then looked at us. How many? And she was, better half was like 2, please. And she was like 2 people. I'm like, no, what the fuck? 2 fucking geese. That's like, nah, 2 fucking insert whatever Jar Jar Binks was. That's what I'm gonna do next time I go to a restaurant. I'm gonna Jar Jar Binks my way through it. Miso wa queso dip.
I love this time.
Annie, give me bigger refill.
2 people.
What?
I prefer Homo sapien.
Oh, and then our server, I'm pretty sure he was yoked out on some kind of fucking drugs. Good server. Very awkward, like just a lot of very awkward employee interactions, and like I was fucking there for it, man.
Well, let's be honest. You want your server on coke,
Probably,
and not the kind that comes out of the fountain.
yeah.
I want
But man,
rapid.
like I said, it was a very awkward experience, and I cannot fucking wait to go back.
Why was? Wait, she was. He, she, it,
They,
whatever. We're wearing a mask. Which,
yes,
okay,
that's
I get.
fine.
And wearing,
I think they were cleaning something
Oh,
before
okay.
we got there.
Just.
They,
Okay.
they took them off.
Oh, okay. I thought like they
No,
were.
they're
Michael
follow
Jackson.
me,
and-
please. Get your own goddamn menus. I'm not touching that shit.
Okay, you had to clarify that for me.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good now.
Yeah. So where were we? Oh,
Fuck, I don't
Richard later shot and killed his mother's cat and spread the cat's blood all over his face in front of her.
Now she's getting the idea something's
Yeah.
wrong.
She did tell his dad about this, not the authorities, but she did tell. I'll wait till your father gets home.
And how old was he at this time? 30? 28? 29? What?
27,
Yeah,
I think.
right.
27 or 28. But she left out the part about what he did with the blood. I guess she just told him that he shot the cat. Which, does that really sugarcoat it that much?
Well, I think we're leaving out a very weird part of the story, damn it.
Like, hey, honey, he shot, or former honey, ex-husband, he shot the cat. What the fuck? But don't worry, he totally didn't spread the cat's blood all over his body like a psycho. That definitely, wink, wink, didn't happen. And then you have the whole conversation. Did that happen or did it not happen?
Well,
I'm really having trouble fucking reading between the lines on this here.
Well, isn't that a thing about hunting?
What, you think he's out there hunting house cats?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's just small game.
What's on you? What's all
Don't-
over you, Richard? Snowball.
I'm not a big hunter,
Yeah.
but I know there are people that
Piss,
become
usually.
become one with, show respect to the animals, deer, whatever, in which they shot. They will spread the blood. They will do a little, and even sometimes drink the blood.
I do the same thing with my poop.
Okay, now you just made it awkward.
That's what Arnold did in Predator. That wasn't mud. That was days and days of jungle shits that he had
All right.
backed up.
Now we're being disgusting.
I do want to see that hunting scenario go down though, because he's clearly crazy and inside of a house. There's like literally, is that blood, Richard? Yes, it's Snowball's blood. Why are you covered in Snowball's blood, Richard? What the fuck?
He was hunting
I'm on the hunt for what?
a big game.
What are you hunting for that you have to be covered in the fucking cat's blood? Mr. Whiskers. I know he's in this territory and he's going to be mine soon. I'm going to bathe in his blood. Damn, you're really going for the drama here. No, I'm fucking dead serious.
Rambo and that
I'm
shit.
I'm the Elizabeth Bathory of fucking felines. Elizabeth Catherine. Boom! Fuck
Boom,
you
we're done.
guys. Yeah. So all that. Kill the cat, da-da-da-da-da. Now, after discussing this occurrence, his parents decided to tell Richard that he wasn't welcome in their homes anymore, but they continued to pay for his apartment.
Get your ass out.
Fucking, this is like enabling to the extreme. It's insane. He started to follow people at this point and was doing some peeping Tom activities, looking in windows and peering around corners,
Just being friendly.
Yeah. Totally nothing wrong with it at all.
No.
Totally fine. Completely harmless, I'm sure. This was the beginning of his descent down the road that led to the end result of this story. Now we're going to start having fun. On the night of December 27th, 1977, Dorothy Polinsky was doing the dishes in her kitchen when she heard a popping sound followed by the sound of shattering glass and felt a warm streak across the top of her head. What she had experienced was a .22 caliber bullet shot through her window, which passed through the bun in her hair. Yeah, there's some straight fucking movie shit.
Huh, what was that?
Like, it's a fucking movie. Like, what?
I guarantee it, back in 77, the hooker did not even drop her cigarette.
She's like, God damn it. Goddamn kids. What did I tell you about shooting your guns? Go back in the alley and shoot your guns. This bullet that flew through her hair was later traced back to a gun that belonged to Richard Chase.
Okay. Not shocking.
Now, jump ahead, I believe 2 days later, on December 29th, 1977, Ambrose Griffin, a 51-year-old engineer and father of two, was unloading the groceries from the car when he was struck in the chest and killed by one of two shots fired by Richard Chase from his car. This motherfucker pulled a drive-by.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Impressive.
He was rolling down the street in his 6'4".
All right, continue with the spit the next bar.
Jocking the kittens, shooting at bro. I don't know. After he did this, he went home and watched TV for the rest of the day after he murdered his first person.
You gotta wind down. I get it.
Notice I said first.
Oh, I would hope, since we're covering, there's more than one.
2 weeks after that, he attempted to, he has like one of the fastest fucking ramp ups of any serial killer that I know of.
Well, I like an overachiever.
Dude, he goes from 0 to 100. So, well, I mean, he was crazy forever, but like once he pulls the fucking, that grenade ain't got no little handle on it. You pull it and you run. Like, should I drop it? Fuck you. You're already dead. You held it. There's no timer on that thing, bud. This is Poland. We fucking get it how you live.
Well, I like a man that finds out what he wants and goes for it, balls to the wall.
Yeah. So 2 weeks after that, he attempted to enter the home of a woman, but because her door was locked, he left, which he later told detectives that if he took locked doors as a sign that he wasn't welcome there, but unlocked doors were an invitation to come inside.
That makes actual perfectly good sense.
It does. Also, vampire. He drinks blood.
He should have to be invited in.
Exactly.
And unlocked door is an invitation. So, hey, I see no issue with this at this point.
Checks out. Check it off the list. We're good there. He was then also chased off by Robert and Barbara Edwards when they returned home to find him going through their house, stealing a bunch of their random shit. There's more to that story. While he was trying to pilfer the home of Robert and Barbara Edwards, he also pissed on their infant child's clothes and took a shit in the middle of the baby's crib.
He heard it.
He did. For the second time tonight, we're talking about shitting in a bed.
This man had started a lot of trends.
Yeah. He's a trend. He's like the Drake of fucking psychopaths.
Yes.
Side note to that, when they were chasing him through the house, he kept telling them that he was just taking a shortcut. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to fucking In-N-Out Burger, so I just walked through here because it was shorter, and then I also took a pit stop to piss and shit in your child's room on their things. Don't mind me, just passing. Can I play through? Can I play through? Just leave a fucking Dairy Queen swirler on the baby's bed?
I guess. Fuck, I don't know what to say to this. I'm speechless.
Right? He's a true philanthropist, this guy. Philanthropist all over that kid's clothes. Ooh. Now, Richard left the Edwards' house and stopped to get an orange soda because apparently that was like the only other thing he would drink other than fucking blood. And when he did this, he saw a girl that he went to school with. So he walked up to her and asked her if she was on the motorcycle with her former boyfriend when he died. Now, she didn't really recognize him as being somebody she went to school with, and was like, how the fuck did you know that? You know, a little conversation ensues. Now she did have a boyfriend who did die in a motorcycle accident, but without recognizing him, she just tried to piece the fuck out. Good call.
Deuces.
He followed her to her car and tried to open the door, asking for a ride until she was finally able to just get the fuck out of there.
Huh.
Yeah, none of this is a red flag. Excuse me. Through this whole time, he was continuing to kill animals and drink their blood to the point that local animal shelters blacklisted him from adopting animals from them. There's literally 462 red flags with this motherfucker, and nobody has pulled a trigger on looking into him, or maybe like a medically induced coma might be the only way to rectify this man's life, which sounds really harsh, but fuck. You got blacklisted from an animal how does that happen? Clearly, he did not have the arms of an angel.
Old Sarah was speaking to him.
Yeah. Like, Sarah McLaughlin, this man is not. But I digress, I guess. Neighbors at this time, on top of the neighbor from his childhood home, recalled seeing him going into his apartment with 2 dogs and a cat, but never saw any of the animals again after that point. So, how often was this happening, or was that just the one that stuck out to them?
Just the one that stuck out.
Okay. Now, about a little less than a month later, on the evening of January 23rd, 1978, Richard saw a van that he recognized from the store where he had the encounter with his former classmate, which made him approach this home. The house was the home of Teresa Wallen, who was almost 2 months pregnant at the time. So at this point, we get to it gets a little dark now.
I like it dark.
Richard put a .22 caliber bullet in the mailbox before walking up the driveway to find Teresa taking out her trash. He fired twice before she hit the ground, then walked up and put one more shot in her temple before he dragged her body through the house into the bedroom. He went into the kitchen and got a butcher's knife, which he used to cut off her nipple, stabbed her through her sternum, which takes some doing, pulled her intestines out so he would expose her other vital organs, and proceeded to stab her open wound in her abdomen so hard that the knife exited through her back.
Get the job done.
Yeah, the only organs left undamaged were her kidneys.
He just cut off one nipple?
Yes.
Not both?
No.
Obviously, he didn't have OCD or whatever. That's uneven.
It's like the ear necklaces back in Nam. But, so the only evidence left behind was bloody footprints and indentations on the carpet from a bucket presumably used to collect the blood from this victim. Because, as is tradition. Now, on the 25th, a nearby couple reported to the police that they had found their Labrador puppy shot and that its stomach had been ripped open. Which leads me to another point. What do you call a dog that can do magic?
I have no idea, but you're going to tell us.
A Labracadabrador.
Oh, fuck me.
When the police asked them for any tips that might help them find who killed their puppy, the couple told them about the weird, dirty dude that had been asking people in the neighborhood for old magazines, who they had also already turned down when he inquired about adopting one of the puppies from the litter they had at the time.
Old dirty dude.
Yeah.
So this guy's still not showering.
I would assume.
I think this is the biggest crime.
At least not regularly.
The biggest crime against humanity.
He just showers in his own he showers in blood and piss.
Okay.
Now, on January 27th, he entered the home of 38-year-old Evelyn Maroth. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm not trying to be a dick. I think it's Maroth.
Well, I don't think she's got a fucking mind.
Yeah, but she probably has family. And,
Okay.
I like to bring at least recognize the human aspect of these. This is where he shot her in the head and killed her while she was in the bath before dragging her body into the bedroom. He did this after he snuck in the back door, when none of that's necessary information really at this point. We already got into the good stuff. Bad stuff. Fuck. Whatever you want to call it. When her 6-year-old son came to see what was going on, Richard shot the boy twice in the head, killing him instantly.
Sounds like old Richard becoming a better shot at least.
Right? Now, Evelyn's friend, Danny Meredith, returned from getting some snow boots for Evelyn's son to go on a play date that was supposed to be happening shortly. He scared the shit out of Richard. He wasn't expecting somebody to come in, who immediately shot Danny in the forehead and killed him.
Motherfucker's racking up headshots like a motherfucker.
Right? I'm assuming it's close range, but, you know. Richard then heard a baby crying in another room.
Oh.
He walked into the room and found the 22-month-old nephew who Evelyn was babysitting at the time, who he immediately shot point blank in the head.
This guy's just an asshole.
Yeah, he's a sack of shit. He returned to the bedroom where he left Evelyn's body with 2 knives and did the same thing to her body that he had done to Teresa Wallen before this. Again, leaving the kidneys alone, just like her. Mm-hmm. He then rolled the body over and stabbed his victim in the anus 5 times. And this was the point where he realized that through all this, he had finally been able to get an erection. So what does he do?
He replaces the knife with his...
He sodomizes. Yes. Yes, he sodomizes this poor deceased woman. Yeah, the ramp up on this is fucking gnarly, dude. It's crazy. And he's a fucking... Oh, my God, he's such a piece of shit. He was such a piece of shit before this. And then you're like, man, you're just going for the fucking trophy on this one, aren't you, dickwad?
He wants the gold.
He's going for broke. So after that, he rolled her body over again, slit her throat, cut out one of her eyes, and attempted to gather as much blood as he could into a bucket. He also took the baby's body into the bedroom, split open the baby's head, and dumped part of the brain into the bathtub. Yeah.
Ew,
that's why I said...
You gotta warn a motherfucker.
I put viewer discretion advised in the description of the video.
Me.
Well, you signed up for this. Just wait till we do some of the other subjects that I have planned for Patreon.
Oh, God.
Yeah. While he was performing these fucking horrible things that he was doing, somebody knocked on the front door, which startled him. It was the daughter of the neighbor who Evelyn's son was supposed to be leaving with for the play date. Her mom sent her over to get him and see what was going on.
Well, nobody's hearing these shots.
Right? Now, I mean, it's a 22, you know.
Yes.
Now, luckily, Richard got scared and just kind of hid until the knocking stopped and she went away. So this kid got away with, has like just the luck of the Irish.
Yes.
Because holy fuck, imagine being that mom after that and realizing that like you were like, hey, Laura, go next door and see where little Billy Bob's at. Bodies and a psycho killer inside the house that your daughter's. It's like a movie. It's like he's slow mo, and then the fucking the Inception camera angle switch where it goes through the frame of the house, and then you just see him like, and you just see this little like innocent fucking Girl Scout cookie girl. Movie scene. It's fucking crazy. After the little girl left, he took Danny Meredith's keys, took the bucket of blood and the body of the baby, and he left the house. Yeah. Like a half hour later-ish, a concerned neighbor went into the back door to check on Evelyn, discovered the murders, and called the police. One person so far in this story that had the correct actions for this situation.
This is the only good person in the story.
Right. Now, this is step-in detective Roy Biondi. Ray Biondi. Ray Biondi had already been involved with the investigation of Teresa's murder. So once he got onto this scene, it was very clear that whoever did this was the same person that killed Teresa.
We got a motive, an MO now.
You know, modus operandi.
Yes.
I know shit.
I watch
a
lot of Law and Order.
I watch Law and Order. Boom. Now, Biondi started putting together a profile of the killer in question, suggesting that the suspect was a white male without any real personal relationships or job, and that the person in question was most likely released from a mental institution recently.
Way to go, I win there.
Yeah, he's fucking nailing it. Now, with the help of the people around the town, that had encountered a man who matched the profile of their suspect, police came up with a rough sketch of this said suspect. Fuck my mouth. Now, throughout all this, another former classmate of Richard's saw the police sketch and told a family member who was a police officer that she's pretty sure she had also encountered this man, giving the police another lead to finding him. The same day of the murder of Chase's 4 most recent victims, police put all the pieces together and landed on Richard Chase. Also the fastest fucking police work, especially in Los Angeles, that we've ever covered on this fucking show. So,
I mean, some fine police work.
You gotta get on base at least once out of 1,000 fucking at bats,
almost
right?
as good as the OJ.
Even pitchers hit singles every once in a while. Look at Shohei Ohtani, fucking Japanese love. Oh yeah, they won. Japan won the whatever the fuck, the world baseball stuff.
It's baseball. I don't pay attention to it.
I'm so stupid. All right. So, again, they very quickly landed on Richard Chase through sketches and evidence and shit like that. And, you know, once you do your job as a cop in L.A., you go, oh, this guy? Oh, boom, we have his address. Let's go to his house. Crazy, right?
Solid police work.
Finally, people are starting to use their fucking brains with this person in this story. Not even a story, but you know. When the police got to his apartment, Richard would not come to the door, but the police could hear him inside the apartment, so they pretended to leave. Like you do to like a little kid when you're playing like hide and seek or something like that.
I guess I'll just go away now.
Well, I guess he's not here. Okay, come on, guys. Let's go get some donuts. I don't fucking know. Shortly after this, Richard came out of his apartment to leave holding a box, which, when the police came to apprehend him, he threw at the police, which then revealed that the box was filled with blood-soaked pieces of paper.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if that baby was in that box.
It's filled with cum.
What's in the box?
When this happened, and he kind of scurried away from him shortly, and when he turned the corner, he was blasted in the fucking face with the butt of another officer's rifle. And apparently, throughout all this, even though he got gun-butted like a motherfucker and all this shit, he fought his dick off before they finally were able to cuff him.
Well, he's a vampire.
Yeah, he was like, please. Yeah, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. He's got fucking super strength.
Right.
Damn. Now, on his person when he was arrested, Richard had Danny Meredith's wallet, his .22 caliber handgun, so he had his gun throughout all this. He very potentially could have just started fucking cracking off shots on all the cops, which he didn't. At least the fucking death stopped somewhere. Where was I? And he also had pictures of Evelyn Maroth and her son that he took from the house before he left. Not that uncommon for something like that. Now, when they went into his apartment, they found that everything, walls, floors, ceiling, fridge, all the eating and drinking utensils, and even a loaf of bread in the kitchen was covered in either dry or fresh blood.
Huh.
It was like that nightclub in Blade.
Well, we know he wasn't much of a cleaner, so.
No. Yeah, we already knew that. Now, in the fridge, the police found animal extremities and human brain matter in a plastic in Tupperware.
That Tupperware, it's dangerous.
He was making a fucking Jell-O mold. It was the 70s, after all. He was gonna put it on top of put some whipped cream on top of it. He was gonna make a fucking Patricia Parfait.
That's a good one.
No, it wasn't.
I know. I'm just being nice.
Throughout the apartment, were medical magazines, notebooks with just straight up fucking gibberish written in them that made no sense, drawings of guns and swastikas, And here's the real kicker with this one. A calendar with the word today written on the days of the murders that he had committed. And today was also written on 44 other days in the calendar. That's fucking ominous.
Right.
So, yeah. Oh, and on top of that, they never found the baby's body. Yes. We're almost... Oh, shit. We're on the last page finally. Look at that shit. This one flew by, boy. I tell you what. After he was arrested, him and his defense team obviously tried to plead insanity, but the fact that he wore gloves and clearly attempted to not get caught throughout all this clearly made it so that did not work out for him very well. And on May 8th, 1979, the jury found Richard Chase guilty of 6 counts of first-degree murder and, rejecting the argument that he was not guilty by reason of insanity, sentenced him to die in the gas chamber. Fucking good. Fuck this dude. He's a cockbag piece of shit.
Yes, very much so.
While he was locked up in prison on death row, other prisoners tried to encourage him to kill himself and would collectively gather their piss in a cup, pass it down the block, and throw it on him. Fucking good. Depending on where you're at, I believe they call it gassing. That was the whole thing.
Oh,
You pick your poison. It could be pee, poop. I've heard tale of like boiling hot baby oil being thrown on people in prisons as they walk by. That'll fuck your day up. Skin ain't gonna be smooth ever again after that one.
Nope.
You can't smooth out a fucking overcooked pepperoni pizza. Ain't happening, Jack. Also, while in prison, Chase was interviewed several times. I did not fucking... For some reason, I didn't write down the reporter's name. During which, he talked about his fear of Nazis and UFOs, claiming that it wasn't his fault and he had been forced to kill to keep himself alive. He also asked the man who interviewed him to get him access to a radar gun so he could use it to catch the Nazi UFOs so the Nazis could stand trial for these murders.
Trying to use the Nazi defense?
Right?
Pass the buck to them.
Yeah. He also gave his interviewer a shitload of mac and cheese that he had been hoarding in his pants pockets so that it could be tested because he believed that the prison officials were in cahoots with the Nazis and trying to poison him with his food.
Fucker's back shit crazy.
Could you imagine being on death row, same people, 24 hours a day, all the time, and hearing a grown man walk around with fucking pockets full of macaroni and cheese?
I mean, this fucker is so crazy. Charlie Manson looked and said, dude, calm it the fuck down.
Well, apparently Charles Manson was not as nearly as nuts as everybody thought he was.
It was all
He showed out for the cameras.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. December 26, 1980, Richard Chase was found dead in his cell, and an autopsy revealed that he had committed suicide by overdose with his prescribed psych medications. Might be a little heartless. Fucking good. Fuck you, dude.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's the story of fucking Richard Chase, a crazy psycho asshole that never should have been allowed to be around other people.
And it all could have been
Literally
avoided.
all of it. If one person was like, I think this motherfucker's crazy, we should probably call somebody. And then when somebody was like, oh yeah, this motherfucker's crazy, not go, no, I don't believe you. I think he's crazy. Your thought of crazy does not make sense in my world. So come on, Richard. Let's go get pizza. We're going to go to Chuck E. Cheese and go home. Like, nobody stepped up to the plate and fucking handled this shit. Like, they're just like, look at him covered in cat's blood. He's such a little rascal.
I mean, I think some doctors should have pointed some shit out a little bit more. Or been done a little bit more thorough of a job.
Or when he walked through the door of, like, the second or third mental institution, they should have just fucking blow darted him in the fucking neck and just kept him asleep in a bed forever.
Something like that. I agree. I don't know.
Or just Spartan kick him off the fucking mountain. So yeah, that's this fucking cockbag.
Well, no,
I told you it was a little weird. It got a little swifty on this one.
Now I feel like I need to take a shower.
I don't need to take a shower. I could use a piss here sometime soon.
All right. Well, since we're done, we can wrap this shit up.
Are we done?
I don't know. You said we were done.
We are. I mean, I'm done. I don't speak for both of us.
I have nothing to say. I'm speechless over this. I still want to know what happened to the baby.
Right. As far as I know, they never found the body.
You know, I will say this about serial killers. I will say this. We'll end on this note. I don't see, if I were ever to become a serial killer, I am not taking trophies. That's what gets you every fucking time.
I mean, he was fucked before they found all that shit on him, but...
Right, but...
I mean... Yeah, but, like, I kind of understand it at the same time.
Everybody takes a trophy. And then Dahmer. They all take trophies.
But I understand it at the same time. Not that I don't understand it, but, like, I see it, you know? I'm like, fuck. You did you put in the work.
Mental. They can't find it in here.
You just take fucking mental snapshots.
Yes.
Chicking, chicking, chicking.
Yes.
What are you doing? Chicking. I'm saving it for later. Chicking.
I mean, I am not taking trophies.
I don't know. All I know is this guy's a fucking sack of shit. Like I said, one of the lesser known stories.
Yeah, I started to watch a documentary on this.
But I mean, it's some, like, when you get into some of the, like, a couple of the things he did specifically, like, once you get to a certain level of darkness, people tend to veer off a little bit from some of these.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been better, because I think the documentary, I forget what the name, but it was played up on the vampire, California vampires.
Yeah.
And when I realized,
God, or
this
another
is a
one.
crazy fucker. Now, if it had fangs and it was biting people's neck, I would have stuck it out for the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, like, but there's just some of those stories that like, people just don't fuck with. The toy box killer. There's another episode we could do later.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the kids is where I lose it.
Especially the fucking extreme behavior with the kid.
Right.
But, you know, we digress. Fuck this guy. He's dead. Good.
Yeah, I will say this guy did escalate quick.
Super
he
quick.
Accomplished a lot.
That was all within like a month.
At the age of 30. Then.
Oh, yeah.
What? So he only was killing for what? 4 years?
3?
3?
Like a month.
Oh, I thought 77 was the first.
77, yeah.
And that's right. Now I'm thinking of 80. This was all in a month.
I believe so, yeah.
So by 27 years old, he was, I think.
Oh, maybe a little over a month, but yeah.
I mean, I will
From
say.
1978 or 77, was it?
77.
To like 79.
So 2 years. This is what I'm talking about when I want to talk about serial killers. Not this once every fucking year.
No, this is all 78.
1970 in 1 year.
Not even. January 23rd, 78, he had the encounter with his classmate. On the 25th, the couple thing happened. On the 27th, he killed Evelyn Marath and the 4 people.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. If you're going to be a serial killer.
No, you're right. 2 years.
If you're going to be a serial killer, though, boom.
Wait, no, not even. December of 77 was when it started. And it ended in January of 78. So, yeah, a month. About a month.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
That we know of.
That's impressive.
I don't want to say impressive. That's crazy. That's crazy fast. He's the Jimmy Johns of fucking serial killers.
I mean, if you want to pick out a silver lining in the story, his work ethic in a short amount of time was very impressive.
He's like Pizza Hut in the 90s. 30 minutes or it's on us. Or is that Domino's?
That's good. I mean, I have to give him. I'll give props where props are due.
Yeah, and I'll also give. I will give some props to the state of California because they're the LA or whatever cops technically it was actually found someone, which fucking rarely happens in California from what we've seen. But why the shit didn't just this one? I'm sorry, like you could just take him out back and shoot him right after the fucking guilty plea or guilty verdict, as far as I'm concerned. Like I'm all for due justice and all that shit, but like this fucking dude that clearly did this and what he did, fucking just shoot him.
Oh,
who needs him around? Like
yeah,
what?
I agree. I agree. I mean, but once again, impressive in the amount of time where he
Or let the loved ones of his victims just beat the shit out of him until he's dead.
I think that's always a good possibility to do. But anyway, I think we covered the story. There's one thing I want before we get out of here. One thing I want to talk about. I was watching YouTube. I saw an interview with Mr. Damien Eccles.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's more of the story. This story's still growing.
Oh. So we might have to do
We're going to have to do a follow-up.
West Memphis 4 Redux.
And it all focuses in around this DNA.
Or West Memphis 3, sorry.
This DNA they want tested that still hasn't been tested yet. But according to him, I got to do some more research. But in this interview, what I saw of it, I didn't get a chance to see it all. He thinks that maybe...
He did it. I'm just kidding.
No, that the real killer might be in the police department. Which would explain some shit of how that story is so fucking crazy.
Seems a little far-fetched. Not from a reality-based standpoint, just for like it just seems so movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know. Let's be real. The state of Arkansas is not going to allow that.
I believe also he said who he believes it is. And he wasn't naming names because he's learned his lesson with that.
Yeah.
That the person is dead. But
so you'll never know.
But worked in the
police department.
So we're going to stay abreast of this situation, and we might do a follow-up.
What if it's like way more boring? Not to sound like a dick, but what if it's way more boring than we think? It's not a cop or a chief of police. It's like a fucking filing clerk named Greg.
He's just like...
it was the dispatcher.
He's just been sitting there with his giant 80s glasses the whole time, and he's just...
It was me.
It was the dispatcher.
Doing some dispatching on the side.
Yeah. All right. I think...
Any ideas what we might have coming?
We're going... I think for next week, I think we're going... I'm narrowing it down to two topics, or two genres of topic. Either cryptids, or we're going to start into do a few conspiracy. Do another conspiracy. But we haven't done cryptid in a while, so I'm thinking we might...
Like a single cryptid or like a cryptid roundup?
I might pick a crazy cryptid. Maybe we'll do the Loveland Frogman.
You think we can get a whole episode out of that?
Probably not, but what the hell. No, or do something to that effect.
Do every state.
Or just do some, I don't know, we'll figure something out. But
Alaska's got some interesting ones.
We haven't done any cryptid stuff here lately.
Or the, what is it, the Tibetan death worm or whatever the fuck? Mongolian death worm?
I've heard a little bit about it. I've not looked into that too much.
I mean, it seems like it's like a trimmer mixed with that thing from Star Wars. The one that just like fucking whirlpools you.
Yeah. At the, beginning of Return of the Jedi.
Sure.
Yeah, so I haven't decided yet. There is a conspiracy I want to do. I don't know if I have.
I'd say check in on Instagram to see what the next episode is, but I put out that feel. I'm pretty sure we might still be shadow banned, so there might not be anything on Instagram for another week.
Or we just suck. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. We thank you guys for showing up for this live stream recording of this episode. I believe it's 216. We love you guys, and for the audio listeners, be sure to head on over to the YouTube page or YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe and like and do all that happy shit. And also rate and review on your favorite podcast app. We will see you next week.
Gregory said Scientology. It's probably gonna take me like fucking 2-3 weeks to fucking put that Scientology together.
Yeah, we will see you next week, same time, same place.
Sorry, we just filled your ears with all this horrible shit.
Yes. All right.
You want me to do it? You got it?
I got it.
Lefty. Boom.